trade deadline has come and gone. Let's check in on a couple of teams that made some deals, starting with the Golden State Warriors, as we say hello once again to our Anthony Slater. Slater, Kristaps Porzingis, now a member of the Warriors. Jonathan Kuminga is out. What do you make of the Warriors trade deadline?
Yeah, it's a small swing. I don't think it's going to have anybody on your panel, leaping to proclaim them suddenly in the title conversation. But, having talked to Steve Kerr today at Shoot-Around, they got Porzingis under the assumption that he's going to be healthy soon and he's going to help soon. It'll probably put a lot on their medical guy, Rick Celebrini, to kind of keep Kristaps Porzingis healthy. But if he is there, he is a guy that, dating back to when Boston had him and people were believing Boston was going to have to get off Porzingis, that's a guy they targeted, thinking that him as a stretch, five who can rim protect would be perfect next to Draymond Green. And they hope in the next few months that could maybe blossom a little bit, and maybe there's a longer-term future with Porzingis. But also, he's expiring. They could theoretically just get off his money this summer.
Okay, so this is a high ceiling but low risk move for the Golden State Warriors. Slater, thank you very much for that insight. Anyone want to prove Slater wrong? Anyone going to jump up out of their seat and proclaim no? Anyone?
I thought your name might jump, but listen, I talked
Yeah.
Oh, good, just because she has on some great shoes today.
When's the last time you jumped?
I talked to Porzingis a couple weeks ago when he was here through LA with the Hawks. He had a little calf thing, they call it an Achilles thing, but he's fine. Like he's had this. He said it was POTS, right? I think the Warriors are going to be doing their own evaluation of that. They are very comfortable, from what I understand, with his health situation. I don't think they're worried about his calf. I don't think they're worried about the situation with what he described as POTS, but I think they're going to do a whole different evaluation to see if that's really what's going on with him. And I think they're very confident that he's going to play right away.
And in the Bay Area, this. They've been screaming for a center there for years.
The entire Steph tenure.
Somebody who could shoot from outside. Somebody who could rim protect. Somebody who could rebound.
Yeah.
I like it if he's healthy, and they don't seem worried about the POTS thing. So I think that this could be a sneaky pick.
If that's what it is.
Yeah, but you said like. You didn't say you love it. You know what I mean?
Perkins wanting to propose.
No, but I think that's what they needed. That.
Yeah,
that's a big missing piece.
But here's what I'm saying. Does it put them where they need to be when you're talking about a Steph Curry that is aging but still putting up MVP type numbers?
Jimmy ain't there.
That it's a starting point, but when you go, just imagine how Steph feeling right now. In his mind, over the last probably week and a half, he been dreaming about Giannis. And then all of a sudden, you make a move and you get Kristaps.
Giannis actually came to his party.
But let's be real here, Perk. The only miracle to save the Golden State Warriors and Steph trying to pursue a championship quickly, microwavable, is Giannis. But that was difficult, and it's off the table. And if you're not going to get a Giannis, getting a piece that puts them in the right direction, hopefully healthy, he fits their system extremely well when he's on the floor.
Let me give you a little what if. A couple weeks ago, the Warriors had some pretty extensive conversations with the Memphis Grizzlies about Jaren Jackson Jr.
Interesting.
They tabled those conversations because I think the Warriors were talking about 2 first-round picks. It would have been a similar type deal to what Utah did. But then Giannis was maybe available. And so they tabled those conversations because they needed those picks in the Giannis trade. And then Utah came in with 3 first-round picks. And so they come out the end here with Kristaps Porzingis. But look, he's $34 million this year, expiring contract. This man is playing to prove he's healthy. He's playing to prove he has a spot in the NBA next year, that he can be healthy, that he can be a contributor. That's a pretty low-risk move for a guy who, at least analytically, has incredible metrics.
And credit to the Warriors, right? They're doing what they're supposed to do when you have a guy that's been that loyal. You're talking about a top 10 greatest player of all time in Steph Curry that's playing at an elite level, right? You always want to give him some type of hope. So you had to make some type of move.
Yeah.
Again, all I'm saying is that it should be more to come, right? Because we don't know what Jimmy Butler is going to look like when he returned from the ACL injury. Obviously, you're looking at Draymond. Now, we're talking about, like, Ja Morant situation and teams not really giving up. You're like, Draymond value ain't there either. You know what I mean? Let's keep it real now. Draymond value ain't just, it ain't just peaches and cream tossing out that contract out there.
Well, and the Golden State Warriors, they've said that February 9th is going to be the date for Jimmy Butler to have his ACL surgery. So February 9th.
They got 2 motivated guys out there is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, so February 9th is when he is going to have his surgery. So the Warriors are still trying to find their space, right, within what the Western Conference is going to look like. Perk, we can tell. We can feel the vibes all the way from over there. The well wishes are received from here to the Bay Area. I'm wondering if you'll extend those same well wishes to the bottom of the Western Conference, because a team that didn't make a move, that doesn't control their pick, the New Orleans Pelicans.
Oh, goodness.
Why didn't they move and shake ahead of this deadline?
I talked to Joe Dumars in D.C. about 3 weeks ago, and he told me all these rumors you're hearing, Zion or Trey or, whomever, don't believe them. I'm not doing anything. And I'm like, well, why not? And I think he's still in the mode of, I just got here. I'm trying to figure out what I have. Part of the reason why they made the trade with Alvarado today was to open up a roster spot for DeJounte Murray, who's going to be back soon. Certainly, if he's healthy, is a huge boost. And Alvarado was going to be a free agent, so they didn't want to lose him for nothing.
Improve from within.
But I think Joe, he wants to sip that chicory coffee a little more and eat some beignets and get used to it before. I think this summer, I expect him to do some things this summer.
I'm going to say this. I talk with Troy Weaver a lot. Him and Joe Dumars, they have confidence in this group.
Yeah.
They're we got to understand, they just fired their head coach this year in Willie Green. So guys are now finding their way, right?
They're competitive.
Yeah, they're competitive.
What did Trey Murphy just drop?
And also the bright spot over the last month that's been flying under the radar has been Zion Williamson.
Right over the last month.
He went from starting, then he went to coming off the bench. Now he's back in the starting lineup. And you talk about a guy that's been playing with happiness, the guy that's been playing with force, putting up numbers. He's found his way in New Orleans. So they're trending in the right direction.
You're looking at me because I'm the only way I can think optimistically about this situation is sometimes
be careful now. New Orleans.
I know I'm about to be in Baton Rouge for Women's College Game Day, okay? Right?
Where my family from.
Sometimes doing nothing is doing something.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of volatility and just staying calm and assessing the situation. Trey Murphy, Zion, Derek Queen, there's some good there. Place that should be panicking, but the rest of the season will dictate how we look. I think they rebuild and reshape for the years to come.
Because now they're healthy. You've said it. They're playing better over the course of the last month, but that hasn't changed anything in the standings, right? They're still at the bottom of the Western Conference.
It's a good time to be at the bottom, though.
Right?
It's a good time to be at the bottom.
All right. Well, they're at the bottom of the West.
Okay.
How about the top of the Western Conference? We knew it was going to be lightning and thunder. The San Antonio Spurs have hung tough there at the top of the West, and the Denver Nuggets contending with some injuries, but still rocking and rolling. So we thought, what'd you ask?
I asked, can you see the board? Even if I turn sideways?
We see the work you're putting in, Perk, suiting and booting. 24 seconds on the clock. Kenny's back and joining us for this. Kenny, would you like to do the honors and spin the wheel?
Okay.
Whatever it lands on.
Let's go, Kenny.
We're going to assess the West.
Okay. The West.
Yep, this is the West.
All right.
Put a little heat on that thing.
I don't like chance.
So you were trying to tip the scales for the Nuggets.
I think the Nuggets are right where they want to be. When Jokic is, the biggest thing is making sure that Jokic is healthy. You have shooting around him. Jamal Murray being at his best right now, making his first All-Star appearance. This team is prime time, and so now anyone else can spin. I don't like chance.
Denver made 0 moves ahead of the deadline. DG, you want to show the OG how it's done?
That's a veteran move right there.
In the wheel.
Forgot to be calling me out on TV. Let's see what we got here in the West.
Ooh. Mavericks.
Yeah, why not? I mean, I like what Dallas have done. I mean, they traded AD. They're making some moves. They're trying to start over. Where they go from here? Who knows? I mean, Kyrie might be next. Clay might be next. But
Cooper Flag is where they go.
For sure, but what they do with the other older pieces. But I like what they've done thus far. They've made some really good moves, making some noise, kind of starting over, starting fresh.
Kinda.
Yeah, they are. They need a good pick in the draft. So with another good pick in the draft with Cooper Flag, they have some bright futures ahead.
And this is what he does. Shooters shoot. Chiney.
Okay, I'm like, do I want to create my own destiny or should I give it a wheel?
There you go. Give it a spin.
Because I really want to. Let's see.
Hey, Utah made some good stuff, though.
I'm excited about about the Utah Jazz? Producer Candace, big smile on your face. Jaren Jackson Jr. is the type of big, because when we think about the West, who's out there? Victor Wembanyama, you've got Rudy Gobert, you've got Nikola Jokic. So many bigs. This is a good step. And Keontae George has been one of the most fun players to watch.
Amen.
The start of this season. No longer is it just like under the radar.
Yeah.
They are absolutely conducting a symphony with their moves
They are
so
starting to
far.
turn it
Symphony
around.
Jazz, I see how you put that.
Yeah.
See how you put that together.
Still going.
Feels like Perkins going to have one that we've already did.
I feel like Perk's gonna.
Ooh,
I like this.
Okay.
We haven't talked about them.
Yeah, they
Well, let's talk about him. Look, first-time All-Star, and my guy Denny. And you know, I ain't worked on the last night.
Avdia.
Okay, well,
Avdia.
you keep it there. But I like the way that they're going. I think, you know, like with all they've been through, especially with their head coach, former head coach Chauncey Billups.
Shout out to Tiago Splitter.
I think Tiago Splitter has stepped in. They got a culture down there. They play extremely hard. And, you know, hey, look, the sky's the limit for them. They got a nice young core.
And don't forget,
foundation.
Damian Lillard eventually is coming back for that franchise. So
Wanna try to boast at what I look like. If I'm going try to wear, I pull up long range. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's NBA, I'm a